I don't know about you, but every year I get a little more tired with the rush and the frenzy that comes with the new year. In January, everywhere you look, there's that pressure to be busier, do more, start your year with a huge to-do list full of resolutions, start a new exercise class, set your goals and intentions for the year. Bjork, Bjork, get out. Bjork, don't go up the chimney. Bjork, come on. Bjork, come on. You're going up the chimney. You pause. Oh my god. And everywhere you look, there is just all of this social media noise even on the radio when you're driving in the car. But actually, this January, well, I do have goals for the year, and I think it's nice to set some intentions. I am going to embrace January and its slower pace. Now, I do know that my last 2 videos was me toiling a bathroom, but I thought in my own house just this January, just to slow it down a little. I find even with YouTube, there is pressure to always be on to the next thing. And your YouTube homepage, you'll probably start to see your feed is flooded with spring decorating videos and spring cleaning. But there is plenty of time for that. So today, it's actually a really stormy day in Ireland, and it's also a well-earned day off. While I normally fight days when it's really dark, stormy, rainy, I find I don't want to do anything. There is something really cozy about them, and also when it's January, I feel like you can guilt-free rest. When these rainy days happen in summertime, I always feel, I don't know, like there's more energy and busyness to summertime. So when I get a day like this in winter, especially January, I've started to embrace them. In January, when you look out into the garden, you'll see that most of it is gone to sleep. While there might be a few hellebores in flower, most of our plants have gone into sleep mode. Everyone is hibernating. There's a few birds knocking about. The robin is chirping in the tree, as well as the blackbird and the few pigeons. But nature is at its quietest. And something that I've started to try to get back, it's hard in our modern world, but is embracing the season and how we all have our own seasons. So we all have our moments of summer when we're full of energy, vibrant, full bloom. And then we have our winter seasons where we need to rest and go inwards. And naturally in January, I feel like younger me would be trying to force a summer in January, and the nights are darker, the mornings are darker too. This year I am going to try not force swimming upstream against the current. I'm just going to go with the flow of January. Enjoy the slower pace. Go to bed early when it's dark. Summer long days are on the way, and I'm not going to be hard on myself if I don't have the energy. One of my favourite things to do on these rainy days like this is I love making my dinner for my lunch. So I will have my dinner at like 1 p.m. and today I'm making myself a big bowl of chili. Now my regular viewers will know I don't do cooking on this channel. This is gardening, home, DIY, craft, sewing, even beekeeping, but not cooking. And that's because I just use what's in the jar. I have no secret recipe. I am very basic. This is a good old El Paso chili mix. So apologies if you thought this was a cooking tutorial. But I love making something nice and not heavy, but a chili or a stew on a day like today is just a warms your belly. And in winter, I always want big feed. Salads are for summer and big dinners are for winter. Also, I love a bowl of chili because if you're like me and you always have leftovers, you can have some taco chips the next day, or you can just heat it up, have it with some tortilla chips with salsa. So yeah, it's a good one if you need to store your leftovers and come up with some ideas for your lunch the next day. One of my friends had given me one of these. I have seen these, but I've never actually used one or tasted one. So they're these hot chocolate sticks, and it's just a piece of chocolate on this wooden stick, and then you heat up milk. I just heated mine up in the microwave, and it comes with marshmallows as well. It's like a little DIY hot chocolate kit. It's really cute. And you just stir it into the hot milk and let it dissolve, and then pop your marshmallows on top. And it wouldn't be a cozy, stormy day without lighting the fire. And this year I have used it a lot, well, this winter anyway, since November time. And the cats have come quite accustomed to the open fire. They absolutely love when it hots up, and they'll sit on the couches, paws out, and they will toast their beans. You would have seen earlier, Bjorg was getting curious, trying to go up the chimney. Well, I can confirm that now that they are old enough, they know how dangerous a fire is, so they don't go near it. They enjoy the warmth that it gives this time of year, but they know not to get too close, or they will burn their whiskers. To me, having a fire is just the ultimate luxury. If I go to a pub this time of year, I'm always looking to see if there's a fire and if it's lit. I just think it is so cozy, and when you come in from the cold, whether it's after a walk or you've been outside, and you just put your hands in front of a fire, it is just heaven this time of year. And there's something about the glow of it, but also, I don't know if anyone else has had the same, where it's almost like meditation when you're staring at the flames. I don't know, I just find it really relaxing. So it's definitely needed, especially on a day like today. I just want to say thank you to our channel members who give this channel some extra support and keep it going. I have a giveaway for the month of January where I'm going to be giving away 3 €50, dollar, pound, wherever you are from, whatever your currency, gift cards. And you can choose a garden centre, craft store or DIY shop of your choice in your local area. And all you have to do is have an active channel membership for the month of January. I will pick the 3 winners at the end of the month, and I'll pop a link if you would like to join and become a channel member in the description. Members get to see the weekly videos before everybody else, and they also get to watch them ad-free. There's a member playlist where there's over 200 videos with no ads. You also get member exclusive personal chatty videos and a 50% off discount for the online sewing course. One of my favourite things about January is that late sunrise. So if you love a morning walk and you're looking for a sunrise, but in summertime in Ireland, sunrise is like 4 or 5 a.m. But in January, it is a nice, around about 8:15, it will start to get bright, and it was one of those mornings that was lovely, bright, a little bit foggy, crispy frost on the grass kind of morning. And these are my favorite ones in winter, and they make January that little bit more tolerable. Good morning. Oh, what a treat this morning is after all that stormy weather. Also, today is my first day out in a few days because I had a few sick days, because everybody I know locally has some sort of like lingering bad cold. and I'm the same. But today is the day where I was like, no, I need to get outside for my sanity and my health. So I have the thermals on underneath, I have the thermal leggings on, but it's nice and early, it's frosty. I feel like it was quite mild in December, and maybe that's why everyone was getting sick and couldn't shift it. I feel like you need a few frosty days to kill the bugs. I don't know if that's a myth. I just remember my mum always saying, like, we need a good frost to kill off all the viruses that's in the air. Maybe she's right. But today is one of them mornings, obviously out where it's not covered by the woods, is all frosty. And that frosty air going into my chest, I love it. So yeah, I am taking in all my vitamin N, vitamin nature, vitamin G, yeah, vitamin D as well, because it's lovely and sunny. I feel like all over like the end of December as well, it was so grey, and even yesterday with all that rain and everything. But today it's like after the storm comes the sunny days. I'm sure there's a lesson in that. So yeah, I'm just enjoying it. A big tree fell down in the storm. I need to get through there. Oh no. Or underneath there actually. Probably safer to try and get under there. What a big tree. Just goes to show how like strong that wind was. Okay, I'm going in. I saw other walkers turning back, but I'm 4'11" and 3/4, so I can get through here. Oh yes, I don't have to turn back. On the way back from my walk, I wanted to pop into that local walled garden. It's always nice to see how real gardens are looking in January, but I also wanted to see what evergreen interest that they had. And I wanted to see what perennials they had cut back and what they hadn't cut back. This is the little garden where I got my free fern that I planted back in, I think it was September time. And I was chatting to one of the horticulturists back then, and they were saying how that they do leave some stuff in winter time that they don't cut back, just so that there's a little bit of interest. I feel like there's good bones anyway in this garden. There's some mature trees, they have that lovely wall. But I did notice that some of the shrubs had not been cut back, and I think it looks nice when there's a bit of frost on it and you can kind of see through it. Not everything was cut back to the ground. So it's nice to see what they're getting up to. Also, I feel like visiting gardens that are looked after, whether it's by your local council, it's kind of like getting free garden advice, because like that, if you see them chopping back their roses and they're local to you, well then you go ahead and chop back your roses. So if you see them doing something, don't be afraid to just ask and be cheeky and get some free gardening advice. And I think if something is going to grow there, chances are it's probably going to grow in your garden too if you're local, because you may have similar growing conditions. Granted, your soil might be different, but I find it's, in this case, it's okay to compare. I don't encourage comparison, but when it comes to realistic gardening, I encourage that. Welcome to the office. We have the clothes horse, staple in every home. We have supplies. This has been my dumping ground, and if you saw the videos just at the start of the month, I was doing that tiny toilet makeover, and yeah, I just have bags of tools. Also, I don't know what it is about a bag for life. They give me the ick when there's no groceries in them. I don't know, maybe it's me. But they came in handy because I had to shuttle them back and forth. And I'm hoping that, oh, look what we have as well. Tulip bulbs. They haven't been planted. Do you know what? I'll put them in a pot and we'll just see what happens. Tins of paint. Miss Bjug is at the window. I need to clean this window because the cats have been coming in and out this window. So there is mucky paw prints on it. Yes, Bjuggy, I am looking at you.
And yeah, it's just a handy window that I can, like, if I'm inside, because it's cold, but they still need to go in and out. So yeah. And sewing patterns, bee magazines, that broken thing that I need to fix. Yeah, just a load of stuff that needs to be sorted. Bee food, bee frames. I need to make some frames, and yeah, some camera stuff. The good thing is everything has a place. So all the organising I've done in kind of previous years, everything here has a space. I just need to sort it. So I'm hoping me and Miss Bjug can have this blitzed in about half an hour.
If you saw the videos at the beginning of the month, you would have saw I was doing a tiny toilet makeover, and thank you so much for all the love and the lovely supportive comments on the video, especially when I was doing some tiling for the first time. This has resulted in bags of tools. I think I need to come up with a better storage solution for when I do need to bring tools outside of the house. Thankfully, I don't have to do it too often, and I have managed to have a better system in the office when it comes to storing tools and items. However, I do think maybe in springtime I'm going to get myself some clear tool boxes, the ones that kind of open up. I don't know what the name is for them, because the IKEA unit is great for storing things like paint and small things, but when it comes to screws, I find it's a bit messy. You know, small things like drill bits and things like that. I have a toolbox that has the things I kind of use often, and that's great because I can just lift that to where I'm using it. So if it's somewhere in the house, or I can throw it into the car. But for the other bits, I think I'm going to get a bit more organised with them, because it means if I need to free up space here, I can put them into the storage nook upstairs. And I have to say, I am much less overwhelmed this January than last January. And it's because of the storage nook upstairs. So when I need to get something, whether it's like a box of fabric or a box of crafty supplies that I might not use often, like wreath making stuff or candle making bits, it's great that everything is just up there relatively neatly in the storage nook, and it's not taking over this small room. I had a really good realization, I think, the past couple of months and weeks when it comes to my home office, because I was feeling guilty for not using it the way most people use it, and it's because I just need a storage space. And yeah, it's nice to have a table when I'm doing something like sewing, or if I'm using some of the Cricut machines. But the best thing I did was organising and doing the storage nook upstairs, because almost everything has a place and I don't feel as overwhelmed. And my regular viewers of the channel will know that this room can get a bit messy, and it's been a bit of a pain point in my house. But I find now the past couple of months, when it's messy, it only takes me about half an hour to put everything away. And what was happening before was I had no space for things. And I have many hobbies. There's fabric stuff, there's camera equipment, then there's the random things I pick up along the way: candle making, soap making, beekeeping supplies, random pieces of wood, all of the tools, tiling equipment. So to me, just having somewhere to store it all. And for anybody who's new, I don't have a garage, I have quite a small house. My shed is tiny, and that keeps the gardening stuff, so I just have to be a bit smarter. Ideally, a creative space would be nice, an old craft shed, but I have no space on my land, and it's not something I want to invest in at the minute, because YouTube can be quite up and down with revenue. So I don't want to commit to a lease on somewhere and then I might not get the full usage of it, and then I'm left with this big overhead bill. I absolutely love this time of year when that sun just hits. So nice. Okay, the floor is... I really need to clean this rug. You can probably see it on camera. Hang on, I haven't got my autofocus on. You can probably see some
stains in this rug here. I actually don't know what they're from. Obviously I've had lots of tools and stuff and dragging in mud, but I really should give this a bit of a clean. I have a relatively tidy desk. Now this fabric I have out because I'm going to use that in the next few days because I'm going to sew some cushions. Those bulbs need to be planted, and that's just a little cushion that one of the cats sits on. Also, I'm absolutely freezing because it's sunny outside in winter. It's cold. So when it's sunny, it's generally colder and frosty, but I've just closed the window and the cats are now in for the day, and I've just put the heating on. And I'm also not going to tidy away the clothes horse because realistically, if I fold this down, it's only for a video. And the reality is that that clothes horse is the hardest working thing in this house, and give it a few hours and I will have another load of washing on it. Oh yeah, oh, I just love the light this time of year. But I am happy that everything is as tidy as it can be for a nice old fresh start to the year. And also, does anybody else leave out stuff so that they remember to do it? Left out the fabric and the bulbs and whatever, almost as like a visual reminder to sew them cushions and plant them bulbs. But yeah, hands up if you are like me and you love that January sunset sunshine.